Man, I got to tell you, I didn't know what to expect from PPC. Obviously, we had set our expectations like really low because my partner has experience with one of the top wholesale firms in South Florida, and I was like, well, you know what? Let's try it out. We were in a position coming out of a dry spell. We needed to basically try something different, in addition to direct mail. And holy shit, like, yeah, and, like, it's amazing. It's amazing. The numbers are amazing. Obviously, hey, let's get them closed, right? Let's celebrate when we get to the finish line. But it's just unbelievable so far. Even my partner looked at me. He was like, yeah, I didn't expect this from PPC. So what you guys do, I'm very grateful for. Matthew, I'm very grateful for. I told him in the beginning, I was like, dude, I might get annoying because I'm like a hands-on person. So I was in Google Ads. I was looking at all the keywords and campaigns, like studying, like, what are they doing? What are they setting up? What's the strategy? And 3 weeks in, because no, now we're going to be 4 weeks in tomorrow, actually. I haven't logged into Google Ads in weeks. So, and based on my personality, like, it feels so good to, like, thank you, right? Because it feels so good to not have to worry about PPC management. Like, I know you guys got it. I know Matthew has it, and that's one less thing I need to worry about. And it's amazing, man.
Dude, absolutely. That's exactly. I mean, I hope that you noticed that everything we talked about on our initial call has been translated over to obviously the relationship, because I know one thing you guys were hesitant about, and quite transparently, everybody's hesitant about. It's like, hey, I worked with another agency in the past. They overpromised, underdelivered, and I'm glad you see that. Hey, that wasn't the case with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it's once they start landing, which should be next week, once the revenue starts hitting the bank account, we're ready in the next month to start expanding and start investing some
numbers
more
wise. How much is that going to be? Walk me through some of the numbers.
So first deal, I'll walk you through them really quick. So the first deal was a condo. Wasn't excited about it. We're like, hey, we're not going to do condos. We've had bad experiences with them. But seemed like a good deal. The seller was really in need of selling. She was really in distress. She was really motivated. I'm like, I can't turn that down, right? She needs help. I'm here to help her. We're here to help her. So we got her at a good price. And, we're not going to make too much off of that one because it ended up, of course, condos. The reason we don't like condos. They haven't completed the 40-year recertification. So that's coming up, and she already paid a $32,000 special assessment. We were like, hey, that's fucking awesome. But then there's another $30,000 assessment coming up. So all of these things that we learned after, that she revealed to us after she won under contract with us, which wasn't that ethical, but whatever. So with that one, we're only going to make $12,000. That was week one, though. I didn't want to tell you anything because I was like, let's lock it up. Let's lock in a buyer. Let me not jinx anything. But week one deal, right? Second week, next deal. And I knew this one was going to be a banger. Huge lot, legal additional dwelling unit, which is big down here because people like renting these things out for buy and hold. That's a $50K rip right there. We found a buyer on Mother's Day. Okay, my wife getting a little pissed at me. I was on the phone, but I was like, I promise you this is going to be good for all of us. On Mother's Day, $50K sight unseen buyer, and not just $50K. It was like $42K. I negotiated them up. I was like, we have something hot. I got him at $50K. JV partner is gonna make $5K. It's still a good decent amount. That's what he wanted anyways. So $50K generated there. The next one is a mobile home, which I'm a little iffy about. We don't have a lot of mobile home buyers, so we're leveraging investor base. I don't know if we're going to make any money off of that one. If we do, maybe it's going to be like $6K, but she owed a decent amount, and she's going into foreclosure. So we're just trying to help her out. And then the last one is our first novation contract. So not only have you guys allowed us the opportunity to have our largest assignment deal yet, but our first novation contract as well. So we got this property down in more of the south area of South Florida. And that one, on a good day, it's probably going to be like 20 to 25. So not too bad. You're looking at anywhere from 80 to 90, like 82 to 90.
Awesome. And,
yeah,
dude, that's amazing.
I'll take it. Yeah.
So going through the metrics with Matt, I saw that he sent the report this morning. We've spent about $7,300 in ad spend. In this first month here, cost per lead's about 216, 215. Out of that, MQL percentage is super strong. We got 14 MQLs. Out of that, 4 contracts have been signed, and your average assignment fee is $22,500.
Yeah.
And then that's a projected 12x ROAS. How do you feel about that?
That's ridiculous in the best way that you could put the word ridiculous. It's amazing. I mean, it's way more than what I expected, right? We talked about, I remember our first conversation, right? We said, you asked me, like, what would make you happy? I think I said like 4x, and you said you should aim a little higher than that. And I was like, well, I'll set the expectations low for now. I'm like, tomorrow is the 20th. We started April 20th. Remember that Monday, April 20th, 420, right? And tomorrow's is May 20th. So that is coming out of the gate with the 12x, and already 2 of them have buyers locked in, escrow locked in, and they're closing next week. That's fucking awesome. Like,
that makes me happy here, dude.
It was also like a lifesaver because we had come out of a month and a half dry spell that we hadn't encountered before. Obviously, we've only been in business like 9 months, but we had a month and a half dry spell. You know, dry spells eat up your marketing budget. You know, we're spending a decent amount on marketing. They deplete your team's motivation. So to get these 4 deals, you know, and then we also got some other ones from direct mail in just a 3 to 4 week period was amazing. You know, everyone's fired up, everything, you know, it was like, it helped us shift in the right direction. So you came in at the right time. Like, the Lord blessed us with making the decision. I was at a fork in the road. I had 2 companies to pick. I went with you. My gut told me to go with you, and that was the best decision, man.
Just for feedback, so I know what to do moving forward. Do you happen to remember why you decided to move forward with us?
Of course I remember. I mean, the biggest reason was you. We had a conversation day one. I have experience with working. My direct mail service provider is also a small company. I also have experience being just an account number, right, for bigger service providers, and having direct access to you, being able to just kind of work through your idea, have you explain the company, the vision. And then to me, a company is only as good as their people, but the people and the framework that the people work in is only as good as the leader, right? So I saw your podcast on Steve Trank's show, and I was sold, man. You know, I was watching that in our little media room, lounging back on the couch, and I was watching you talking about your motivations, how you got started, and everything that you've done like the past 6-7 years, and it was just so impressive. And I said, I needed, like, this guy is going to have the vision, and I'm going to have direct access to him to take us, I think, to the next level. And I put my bet on that, you know.
I hope Andrew, your partner, feels the exact same way.
Yeah, absolutely. He does. Oh yeah. After he's so skeptical about PPC. He was like, I had to pull his arm to invest, but he knew we needed some different marketing channels. So, you know, thankfully he was like supportive, and now it's great. And I'm working on a deal as we speak, another one.
What is that?
Okay, so Williams property, it's a very small property, 700 something square feet, 3-1. I don't even know how you can fit 3 bedrooms in 700 something square feet. He owes more than our normal offer would be, but we could squeeze up a little bit and maybe net him like 10K to his pocket. I don't think he's satisfied with that, but honestly, our competition, no one's really going to be able to offer him that much more unless they're lying to him and then are going for the reduction later. We tend to not try to do that and have a little bit more integrity. So our other offer is gonna be an ovation. We could probably do an ovation on his house. The roof and the AC are about 6 years old, so that's still passable, financeable for an end buyer. We might throw him like a 330. Our offer was 293. We might throw him like a 330, 340 for an ovation play, and maybe make you know, it's not gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be something. But we have stuff to work on, you know. And hey, some of these leads have just not picked up, or we're unable to reach them. But the ones that we are, you can tell the urgency and the need of the seller, right? And I guess that's because it's inbound and they're proactively like making the effort and taking the action to find us. And so it's great. Like the quality of the leads are fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. I wanted to shift and translate to when it comes to scaling, right? So obviously we found something that works, right? Obviously that's generating you leads and you having these these meetings with Matt, the additional purpose behind this, and I'm sure Matt's already told you this, is we want to be able to identify within the campaigns what keywords, what ad groups, the variables basically that are working, and then we can reallocate our budget to do more of that. Because obviously, whenever we're trying to scale our campaigns, we want to be more efficient. We want to know, like, okay, if this campaign is generating us this amount of deals, we want more deals. So we'll allocate more budget into that. This campaign is not generating us anything. Let's turn that off and shift our budget, right? So I wanted to tell you that because sometimes clients will come to us and like, hey, why are we just having these meetings? It's the same thing over and over again. But literally they know this is our chance to optimize campaigns and just make it better.